Welcome to my home. My name is Ashlyn and I am 21 years old, living in a fifth wheel RV. We are officially 6 months into living this lifestyle and couldn't be any happier. I currently live with my boyfriend and our 4 kitties. We have 1 mama kitty and her 3 babies that we love very much. There is so much love in our home and I am extremely grateful. When we first moved in here, figuring everything out seemed super overwhelming. We actually bought our RV off Facebook for $6,000, and when we went to go pick it up, the power cord was frozen into the ground. The original owner had to sever the power cord so that we could drive the RV home, and we ended up going back to pick up the power cord later. This issue alone seemed extremely overwhelming and took a few days to figure out. I eventually got fed up working in such a hot space with no air conditioning, so I stopped what I was doing and stared at the breaker port for at least a couple hours, trying to figure out how to wire the power cord back into the RV. Once I figured out, it was the most rewarding feeling ever. Having the air conditioning turn on and the lights come on, that was so amazing. And with any RV that you buy, new or used, you will have issues. It is about overcoming these issues and figuring out how to solve the problem. This is our home. We own absolutely everything in here. So if something breaks, we have to figure out how to fix it. That seemed so daunting at first. But after we got into the flow of figuring things out and having help from a really amazing neighbor, we were able to make it work. We were actually extremely blessed with the RV that we chose. We actually thought that the water heater was broken for a good 4 months. We really didn't know how to make it work. And it was genuinely so simple. Like, I feel so silly that I didn't try a little harder to figure it out. But we went 4 months with no hot water just because we didn't know how to turn the water heater on. I think that is so funny. For us, the journey of figuring out our RV was like picking up little puzzle pieces at a time. And eventually it all started to make more and more sense. Now, living in our RV for 6 months, we know this thing up and down, left and right. Sometimes when I'm cooking, I don't always like to use propane because you have to open the roof ventilation, make sure the window is open, turn on the fan to make sure that you don't get carbon monoxide poisoning. So sometimes I just like to pull out my electric skillet and use my toaster oven because that just makes it easier. Especially with the winter time coming up, the ceiling latch can freeze sometimes. So I'm just practicing using electricity only to cook. I personally really enjoy cooking. So I love the ability to just come home and have my own kitchen to cook in and have my own space to make really good, fulfilling meals. Nothing beats this feeling of freedom. Today was actually a nice enough day to use my little washing machine that we keep in the bathroom. I just had to do some of my sweat towels for my job. I have to keep these clean. I don't like stinky towels. And when it is nice enough, I can use the clotheslines outside to hang my clothes from the washer. I love this little washer. It has helped me so much, and it beats having to pay for every load that I have to do. I genuinely have used this washer enough that it has paid for itself. The more I take control of my life, the better I feel about my circumstances. If you would have asked me 4 years ago if I thought I'd be living in a trailer park as my first home, I kind of would have laughed. But at the same time, I cannot control the judgments of other people, so if you aren't living this lifestyle, I can understand how you would judge it harshly or think that it's not ideal. But we genuinely have more than enough space to fill our needs. Our rent is so extremely low. We have zero debt. This is exactly everything that we have wanted. Currently, we are still living in our hometown. We did move a little ways out of town, so we do have a bit of a commute. But genuinely, we like living outside of town more than we did living inside of town, where our lot rent was actually more expensive. Come the beginning of May, we do plan on leaving our hometown and starting to travel. I am extremely grateful because my boyfriend works remote, so we are able to travel and make it work. This lifestyle is going to be our dream lifestyle, and I'm so excited for you guys to come along. It just makes sense to us that before we settle down and decide to have kids, we can explore the United States and decide where we would like to settle down. With the amount of time that we've invested into this lifestyle, we are extremely grateful that we did it the right way that works for us. We decided to look on Facebook and save up enough money to pay for it in cash instead of going to a dealership and getting into debt with interest rates through the roof. We are currently in a Forest River Wildwood 2004 fifth wheel. We absolutely love our fifth wheel. We definitely do not regret getting a fifth wheel over a travel trailer because my boyfriend is extremely tall, and if we got anything smaller, he would probably hit his head on everything. He still sometimes hits his head on some things in the RV, but it is not as bad if we would have had shorter ceilings. I also don't think that I could imagine having any smaller space than what we have. I'm extremely grateful that we got the size that we did for our 4 cats and for the both of us. We have 2 separate areas that we can go into if we need space from each other. It is absolutely perfect for us, and there is room to grow and potentially have a baby in this RV if the time comes. I'm not gonna lie, the day that I recorded this, I was in a pretty hard spot mentally, so I was super grateful when we spontaneously decided to go to the park with all of the Christmas lights and cheer ourselves up. Mental health is extremely important, and I really hope that you're taking care of yourself, you're journaling, taking your vitamins, drinking your water with the electrolytes, and keeping screen time limited. I know this is easier said than done, but you deserve to give yourself the love that you are searching for. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it brought you something new into your heart.